Good morning, guys. We are on day 3 down here in Commodero. We had a lot of rain and a bunch of stuff this morning, so we decided to sleep in. Today, I'm going to school with Mr. Denny Brauer, the, in my opinion, greatest flipping man in the industry. He's going to teach me a thing or two today. We're still going to be flipping jigs and rolling them big spinner baits, right, Denny?
Yeah, some of these points that taper out into the lake, some of the bigger fish are starting to come up and lay on them, but no rhyme or reason to where they're at. You can just cover more water with that spinner bait, but there are a few big fish starting to get into the bushes, so
right, yeah.
We'll do some flipping too.
Sounds good. All right, well, let's get with it.
The tough thing about this is what you see coming off these points that's visible, that continues out underneath the water. I mean, this brush is running out to about 18-20 feet right now. And even though you can't see it, them fish are a lot of times suspended in the top of it, and it may be 8 or 10 feet off the bottom. And with a spinner bait, you got to basically make the cast and let that spinnerbait sink all the way to the bottom down in that brush and hope it doesn't get hung up on the initial drop. And then you're starting it and you're just pulling it to those branches. And most of the big fish that you'll have hit actually hit it after you make contact with one of them bushes and it kind of deflects off a bush that triggers the strike. It's going to create some hang-ups, but it's the way to cover a lot of water and get a lot of these big fish to bite. It's always a little bit better when the sun comes out. You get more flash off your blades, and we're starting to finally get the sun to break through the clouds, so hopefully pretty soon we'll get one of the big ones to bite it. It's a big fish technique. It's not a technique here on Commodero where you're gonna get a ton of bites, but the bites you get are gonna be giants. They're all gonna be 6 pounds or bigger, and that's what you come to Commodero for. All of them are just sorry. The part just right down the lake.
Guys, we have just been out here, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so. We've been hitting a few points and not had nothing too exciting happening yet, but we're gonna run up river up here and see if we can find some. This wind just started blowing and we found a little point here that looked really good and it's got some good cover and stuff on it, so maybe we'll get one. See what happens. Only had one little bump all morning. I think it rained enough to cool the water down very much. It's still, what's it showing temperature wise?
77.
Well, that's the same as yesterday, wasn't it? 77, 78.
Big old fish.
Feels good. Just about time we said we hadn't had nothing happen and got one to connect. Whoa, look at that one followed up. Get it, Denny. I mean, another nice fish come up with it. That's what we're looking for. Get them coming up together. I mean, she sucked that in. Look at that. Nice fish. I think that one that followed her up was bigger. That is a big spinnerbait to suck down to your belly. Got it. There she is. Nice little 3-pounder. All right, maybe we'll get something happening here. Thought I'd throw that jiggy in them sticks and hooked up, baby. Atta boy. Yeah, on the fall he took that one downtown. Nice baby girl. Sucked her down in her mouth. Guys, we've been throwing those spinner baits all morning. I got bumped when we first got here. Threw the jig in there behind it and hit it on the fall. Nice fish. It's probably a 6-pounder, ain't it, Denny?
Yes, sir.
Nice baby right there. There you go. Terry Odom's jig, putting one in the boat.
Nice. This never gets old.
I ain't felt that this trip.
One of them take you to your knees.
Oh, you said we'd all get heartbroken on this trip.
Yeah, you do. I mean, there's no way around it. All the heavy cover, the big fish. You're gonna get your feelings hurt.
We just set that fish back in the water. Denny just wrecked one. I turned around, flipped in this brush. The second tree, I got heartbroken. I mean, she hit that jig so freaking hard, it almost took the rod out of my hands, and then it was over. Pow.
You throw back in there at the base of that big old tree and hang on to your ass, okay?
I need some flipping lessons. I'm probably the worst.
All right, we're out of here.
Well, we stopped up here on this little point, switched over, started throwing a few jigs. We're on our way to a spot where we caught them yesterday, and they open these hydraulic gates and move the water. Actually will go up and down and cause a current, and when it does, it really triggers these fish's feeding instincts. So we've been seeing some trees move, the current's starting to start, so we're going to roll up the creek a little bit. Hello, goat.
Bite?
Yeah, I was wrapped around that limb.
You don't get fish directly, people.
Oh.
He'll be big someday, but not today. Man, he ate it. When you make a pitch into these deep bushes, what you try to do is let it fall on what I call a kind of a calculated slack line. You can see I'm feeding line out as it falls so that I can still watch my line. I'm not losing contact with the bait, but I don't want to have any restriction on the line. Otherwise the bait's going to swing away from the cover rather than fall straight down into it. And plus the bass is going to be able to inhale it better if it's not on a tight line. So always let it fall on a slack line until it hits the bottom, then pop it up and down a couple times. Pull it out, just repeat the process. And always try to have an escape line. When you put into these bushes, kind of visualize now if I get a bite, what's my best chance of getting that fish out of the brush. So don't, you know, flip over a branch where automatically you're going to be hung up when you set the hook. So there's times they'll get right in the middle of the stuff, and in order to get the bite, you've got to go to the center of the cover. But if you don't have to, let them come out to you and you'll land a lot higher percentage of the big fish. This ledge is normally killer. Accuracy is extremely important when you're pitching to these targets. Because a lot of times, especially if it gets bright out and sunny, they'll get tight to the cover. Or if you get a post-frontal condition, that strike zone shrinks and they're going to get in the nastiest part of that cover. And if you can't get it close to your target, or say up underneath a boat dock or whatever the place may be where the bass is related to, you're not going to get a strike because they're not going to come to you. So what you're trying to do is envision where that fish is sitting and get the bait to fall right on top of his head and make him react and do something. And the guys that can place it real close to the cover where those bass are laying are the ones that are going to get more bites.
Well, we just finished up our lunch and we are flipping around this this tall point. Been I missed it. Denny's been giving me some tips on flipping. Guys, I appreciate him coming fishing with us today and, you know, teaching you guys and giving y'all some tips on how to flip and how to get better. And it's, you know, for me, it's always fun to get to go with somebody and fish that's a lot better than you and can teach you something, you know. And I wanted to have Denny come on and just give a few tips for you guys while we're fishing and having some fun. But we've caught a few fish today, but nothing super big. We're still trying to find that big bite, but it's been a great day. The weather turned off beautiful after that morning rain, and stick around. Hopefully we'll find some big ones.
Oh, this isn't a real old lake. Been around a while. So they're biting. That one was hooked in the top of the head.
Guys, we're pitching this ledge, and it seems like these little young males, these little, you know, 1, 2, 3 pound fish, we've been catching a bunch of them, just nothing with any size here. We're almost to the end of it. We may pick up the spinnerbait down here and try to find some bigger fish in some deeper water, but still catching a few, but not those big ones we're looking for.
Me that way.
Hey, fellas.
What's shaking?
Not much. Okay. Have you?
Eat it.
A bitty guy. All you're doing is screwing my spinnerbait up. Cut it out. Then you didn't even eat it, Brian. Not exactly.
Wow.
I was on the...
So we're putting a little garlic. Strong as it is, you can probably smell it through the camera, but I'm putting a little color on my
hands.
Yeah, hands. The lid came off of this garlic and I got it everywhere. Smells amazing. Anyway, we wanted to make sure you got to laugh at me, so there you are. Well, we came over here and fished this point, and this is the only place on this whole mountain that we found cell phone service. And today's my daughter's birthday, so I wanted to come and try to get a text out and wish her happy birthday. Got that accomplished, and then our boat battery died. Then we ran out of gas, so now we're headed back. We have no trolling motor, no electronics, but we do have the boat motor running, or well, it was. I hope it starts back. Anyway, we had a great time. Didn't get in any big fish today, but we had a really good time, had good weather. And we're gonna head back and fill our bellies with some good Mexican food. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.